fuck is happening? I am here on a Tuesday. How's everybody doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? On this, yo. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Let's talk about this basketball game we saw real fast tonight between Denver and Detroit. Detroit and Denver. Let's go, man. This was a fun game. 109-107. I thought most of the game, I thought Detroit had control of it, but then Denver started to come back at the end, man. Denver was missing a lot of players today. It seemed like both Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon were not playing tonight. But, man, Jamal Murray did his thing, kept them in the game. At the end, they almost won, man. But Jamal Murray got fouled like twice with like 5 minutes left at the three-point line. And he had to make like 3 free throws and possibly either win it or send it to overtime, and he missed. But he at least, I think, both times missed 2 out of 3, man. Pendejo face Jamal Murray, man. But it was, Detroit hold on to win it 109-107. But it was actually a pretty fun game to watch tonight. It really was, man. Tobias Harris, 23 points for Tobias Harris. Cade Cunningham, 23 points for Cade Cunningham. Oscar Thompson, 14 points for him. And then Jalen Duran, 14 points, man. 14 points for him, man. Let's see here for the Nuggets, man. Jamal Murray led the way with 24 points. Jamal Murray, man, he led the way. Peyton Watson, 13 points. And then freaking Spencer Jones, 12 points. And then Valanciunas, 16 points. So, and then you have Bruce Brown, 15. And Tim Hardaway, 14 off the bench. Those guys are going to be key, man. Once they get healthy again with Aaron Gordon and Jokic, and you got Jamal Murray. Those are the guys that need to be key for them going forward. I think for them, once they get healthy, Tim Hardaway and Bruce Browns, those are the guys they pretty much kind of gave away, right, too, for Michael Porter. So they need to be good. I think they also have another guy. I forgot what I forgot what his name is. But yeah, they need the role players to be good. Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway got to be good for them. This is gonna be a team that has a chance in the playoffs. We'll see, man. They got to get healthy, but I think that you put them up there with Oklahoma. They might be the team that ends up actually playing in the Western Finals. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the Western Finals. Honestly, Thunder Nuggets. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But we'll see what the fuck. You have San Antonio. You have some other teams in there, but we'll see what happens. But it was a fun game tonight, man. Cade Cunningham and 23 points for him, man. Anyways, fun game to watch here tonight on a Tuesday night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what we got in football today. The Bills signed a coach. They signed Brady, the offensive coordinator. He's their new coach. So they did all this hiring, man, and they got John Brady, man. All this, I don't know, man. A lot of people thought they were gonna get somebody else because maybe like a defensive-minded coach. Because I think it's at the point now of Josh Allen's career where he doesn't really need a guru when it comes to offense, right? He can kind of whatever at this point. I think in his career, he's got to figure it out. As long as you give him weapons, like if you give him receivers and stuff like that, offensive line, he doesn't really need a guru, right? He doesn't need to be babysit anymore. So I was surprised they didn't get a defensive-minded coach, man. Mike Tomlin could have been really good for them, honestly, to set up that defensive culture, low key, man. I thought Tomlin, man, he decided not to really interview. I thought both the Buffalo and the Baltimore job could have been really good for Mike Tomlin, right? Because that's been his problem. The last few years that he can't figure out the quarterback situation. But now you had a quarterback situation you either figure out with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore or in Buffalo with Josh Allen, man. So I thought, I don't know. Even, what's his name? Brian Flores could have done something. I don't know. Yeah, he didn't got jobs, right? Brian Flores or Mike Tom. Yeah, well, Robert Saleh did go to the Titans. But yeah, man, they ended up going with offensive coordinator John Brady. They go up. They go end up going with him. We'll see how that goes for them. He was with them in the past. I think he's been with them the last 3 years. He was also with that legendary LSU team with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. But then he struggled in Carolina. He struggled. I think Matt Rule was the head coach, and he was the offensive coordinator, and he struggled there. So when you give him talent like in with Joe Burrow and LSU, or in Buffalo with Josh Allen, he's been good, but he hasn't been able to squeeze the talent out of an average quarterback. I forgot. I think it was right. I think it was right before the Bryce Young era, I believe. So maybe Andy Dalton and Carolina for there. They had a bunch of like journeyman quarterbacks like Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, Baker Mayfield. So maybe it was during that era. I don't know. But Matt Rule was the head coach, and Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator. Anyways, I think that's it. Yeah, I think we talked about Mike McCarthy getting hired by Pittsburgh. That was on Saturday. Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because today he had his press conference. That's why kind of. Yeah, but that was on Saturday when they announced Mike McCarthy to the Pittsburgh. Excuse me. Last one, I think, final one, most likely, Jason Tatum said that he's not sure if he wants to come back. I think he's planning to come back around March after tearing his Achilles, but he's not sure. He said the team is playing really good. We're actually doing some good stuff. I'm kind of worried that if I come back, I might mess up the chemistry. So now that he said he doesn't know he's going to come back. I don't know how legit the chances are that he could actually come back. I think it could come back. I think he tore his Achilles in May, so March, about 10 months, it would be enough time, right, for it to like really heal. So I think it is a possibility he could actually come back in March, April, something like that. Maybe we'll see. I mean, the East is kind of weak. So I mean, maybe they're like, hey, we can get another championship this year if you can get healthy by like March, April, man. So that's probably what they're thinking. They're like, hey, Jason Tatum, man, we're doing good. We're like a top 3 team in the East. The East looks kind of. Giannis has been hurt a lot this year. They're not even that good. Milwaukee, Indiana, obviously they're missing Tyree Halliburton. He's gonna be out for the whole season. They're doing terrible. Outside of like New York, there's not much. Detroit, I don't know how much experience they're gonna be able to have though. Detroit, I think, is still trying to figure things out. So yeah, those are really the only teams you kind of look at that could be on their way, honestly. Detroit and New York. So they could be like, hey, Jason Tatum, if you feel healthy come March, April, you might want to come back and see if we can get a crack at this thing. I don't know. The whoever they play in the West, though, could be very complicated, right? Having to go up against fucking Thunder, Nuggets, probably something like that, or you have to go against, you know. So we'll see what happens. But apparently Jason Tatum is now, it's not so much that he doesn't feel healthy, but he's kind of afraid that he's going to end up missing the chemistry. But he's got to come back eventually next year, right? I mean, this is not really their team. They're just this season, they're just trying to survive without Jason Tatum. Obviously, whether it's sometime this year or next year, they're going to get Jason Tatum back. He's part of that team. So, I mean, and they know how to play with him. Like, they would have just maybe had to do a little bit of adjusting, but obviously, they've been playing there since, 2018? So, come on, man. I think if he's healthy by March, April, I think for sure Jason Tatum should try to play basketball this season, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say here tonight on a freaking Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, and wrestling, not much going on. Baseball, not much going on either, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's really trying to think. Yeah, that might be all the news, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a freaking Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Holla.